Hi, I am Diala Mardini, an ENT physician. Today, I will walk you through the top key features to consider in order to pick the perfect chair for your ENT clinic. When I first started as an attending physician, I built an ENT practice from scratch. It was a tough experience, especially as a recent grad with limited online resources, but I learned a lot along the way. In this video, I will be sharing some of the important tips I learned during that journey. Just a quick note before we dive in. While I might use images of specific brands, I'm not affiliated with or endorsing any particular one. They are just for illustration purposes. Okay, let's get started. First, let's talk about the chair's load capacity, which is the maximum weight the chair can hold. This is crucial for ENT physicians who perform sleep apnea surgeries, as many of the patients might be overweight or even morbidly obese. If you are practicing in an area where obesity is common, it's important to know your chair's load capacity. On the other hand, if you are a pediatric ENT specialist, load capacity might not be of a much concern. Next, just like other chairs, ENT chairs come in two types, manual and powered. The question is, should you keep it simple and buy the manual one or go for the powered option? Well, manual chairs are the traditional style, where you manually adjust the height and position. They are cheaper, but they can be physically demanding, especially with heavier patients. On the other hand, power chairs let you make adjustments with just the push of a button. Although they come with a higher price tag, I think they are worth the investment because they save you time and reduce physical strain. Powered chairs comes into two options, electric or battery operated. The benefit of battery-powered chair is that it allows you to keep working during a power outage, and you don't have to worry about keeping it near an outlet. This gives you more flexibility in how you position the chair in your clinic. Now, let's talk about the control options available only for power chairs. You can choose from foot control, remote control, or buttons on the side of the chair. Some models even offer a combination of these. Personally, I prefer buttons on the sides because they are more discreet, which is especially helpful if you are a pediatric ENT. Foot and remote controls are more noticeable, and kids might try to play with them, which could damage the chair or cause them to fall off. Buttons on the other side are fixed in place, unlike remote control that can drop or foot control that take up the floor space. Plus, the buttons are usually on both sides of the chair, making it easier for you to access them from any angle. Next, let's talk about headrest options. The first style is a stationary headrest with a sliding concave pad. While the headrest doesn't move, the pad can be adjusted. The main benefit of the stationary pillow is that it reclines along with the chair, but it does not offer much customization for different patients' heights or neck shapes. Additionally, you cannot remove the headrest, which might be a limitation if you need to perform procedures like the dorsal bite test, where the head needs to be extended. The second style is an articulating pillow with a friction lock and adjustable level. This type of headrest allows you to adjust only the height without any options for anterior or posterior position adjustment. The third type of headrest is the articulating one, and it comes with a knob locking system. It's called articulating because it has two joints that give you more flexibility. The first joint, located at the back of the chair, lets you change the height of the headrest, while the second one, which is located near the neck of the chair, helps you move the headrest forward or backward. This gives you a lot of adjustment options, which sounds great, right? But here's the catch. You have to go through this multi-step process every time you want to adjust the headrest position. For example, to adjust the height, first you unlock the first knob, change the height, tighten the knob, and if you also need to adjust the anterior-posterior position, you have to repeat the same process on the second joint. Now, it might not seem like a big deal if you are doing this once or twice, but imagine you are in a busy clinic with 15 to 20 patients a day. You are looking at spending at least 15 to 20 minutes just on headrest adjustment. Over time, that really adds up and can slow you down. The fourth style is fully adjustable headrest with single head gear lock. It's the most flexible headrest, designed to easily adapt to the specific needs of each patient. This headrest features a sleek design with multiple joints for precise adjustments. The first joint allows for smooth forward and backward positioning. The second controls the height, and the third provides tilt option, either forward upward or backward downward. What really stands out about this headrest is how smoothly it can be adjusted with one hand, thanks to the gear lock mechanism that manages the movement of both the first and second joints at the same time. It's a huge time saver. Just make sure it's securely locked before the patient rests their head, as unlocked headrests can shift unexpectedly, which may cause discomfort, especially for patients with pre-existing neck condition. Now let's discuss armrests. This picture shows the standard armrests commonly found in most chairs. Some manufacturers offer an additional accessory known as a transfer support rail. This feature assists patients with disabilities in transferring into the chair independently. Chairs equipped with this option typically have removable armrests, allowing for an easy switch between the standard armrests and the transfer support rail. Now, let's explore the different base styles available. First, we have the standard base, where the chair remains stationary. Next, we have got the swivel base, which lets the chair rotate. The rotation range can vary. Some chairs can turn 100 degrees, others go for 270 degrees, and some even spin a full 360 degrees. Now, why does the swiveling feature matter? A swivel base gives you the flexibility to position your chair just the way you need it. You can easily rotate the chair to face the monitor or bring the chair closer to the microscope, making your workflow smoother. Option number three is the mobile base. which makes it super easy to move patients between the clinic and the OR or ER. The setup is especially handy in outpatient surgery centers, where procedures are done under local anesthesia. Patients can move smoothly from pre-op to the OR and back. No need to switch chairs. Plus, it's a great for quick transfer to the ER. Just keep in mind, if your exam rooms are limited, using mobile for transfer could tie up chairs and slow down your clinic flow. Next feature to take in consideration is how many different positions a chair can switch into, more than just the usual seating position. The first one, and probably the most common, is the reclining position. Then you have got the flat position, which is perfect for tests like Tuxal-Pike test, especially if the headrest can be adjusted or moved out of the way. And finally, there is the cylinder brake position, which is super helpful for handling vasovagal episodes, a common thing in ENT clinic. All right, let's dive into something that's super important but often is overlooked when picking the perfect chair for the clinic, which is dimensions. The demographics of your patients play a major role when selecting the dimensions of your chair. A standard-sized chair may work for pediatric ENT practice, but for an ENT sleep clinic, where obese patients are common, a larger chair is more appropriate. All right, let's dive into something that's super important but often is overlooked when picking the perfect chair for the clinic, which is dimensions. Second aspect to consider is the dimensions of the chair itself. Making sure the chair fits in your exam or procedure room is key. Start by measuring it in all positions: sitting, reclined, flat, and during rotation. When it's upright, don't just focus on the base. Check the widest points, like between the outer edges of the armrests. That's where the real width comes in. For length, go from the footrest all the way to the outer edge of the headrest, while the chair is in reclined or flat position. And if the chair rotates, take note of the rotation radius so you've got enough space for full movement. Always measure every position and make sure those wide and long points fit comfortably in your room. Alright, let's dive into something that's super important but often is overlooked when picking the perfect chair for the clinic, which is dimensions. Third, consider the size of your exam or procedure room. Will the chair fit in smoothly with your floor plan and other equipment? Next, let's talk about the chair's padding. Try the chair out. Is it comfortable? Comfort is key for creating positive patient experience, especially if you will be using the ENT chair for procedures. Also consider how easy it is to clean the chair between patients. Steer clear of chairs with the grooves in the design, as they can be tough to clean and could harbor bacteria. When choosing a color, go for something that is stain resistant and complements your ENT cabinets. It might seem like a minor detail, but believe me, patients, especially women, tend to notice it right away. If colors clash, it might give the vibes that not much effort was put into the setup. Now, let's discuss accessibility in your clinic for patients with mobility challenges. Make sure the chair is ADA compliant. meaning it meets the Americans with Disability Act standards. ADA compliant chairs are specifically designed to be accessible for patients with mobility issues. Having an ADA compliant chair is a game changer for your practice. It makes patient transfer safer and smoother while improving ergonomics for your staff with having less strain and fewer physical injuries. And it will save you time in the clinic and contribute to a smoother workflow. If you are running a general ENT or otology practice, I highly recommend choosing an ADA compliant chair. You can expect to see a significant portion of your patients being either elderly with hearing loss or having dizziness. Both of these subgroups tend to have higher chance of needing a wheelchair, making it crucial to be prepared for their mobility needs. There are several features that make a chair ADA compliant. I will focus on the two most important features. The first feature is the transfer support rail, which we have already discussed. The second feature is the entry height. Entry height is the distance from the floor to the highest point of transfer surface, which is in our case is the seat. Entry height should be between 17 and 19 inches. So, you have done your research, explored all the chair design features, and you are most likely thinking you are ready to choose the right chair that fits the need of your practice. Well, hate to break it to you, but there is more to it than just the design. Trust me, I learned this the hard way. There are a few more things you definitely need to consider. Pricing. Make sure the chair is reasonably priced and offers the best value for your money. Compare options across companies and decide if you really need any extra features based on your practice needs. Warranty. Check how long the warranty lasts and what's covered. It's also worth knowing if the company offers loaner chair while your chair is being repaired, just in case there are any issues with your chair. Sales representative. Make sure the sales rep is well informed and responsive, and ideally works directly for the company, not a third party vendor. That way you will have better communication and support. If you are looking to dive deeper into how to choose the right company and the best buying tips for any equipment, watch the video linked in the description. It's packed with everything you need to make smart choices. Just click the link and I will see you over there. Have a nice day. Bye. All right. Let's dive into something that's super important but often is overlooked when picking the perfect chair for the clinic, which is dimensions.